On today's episode of Bed Bath & Beyond, I bitch the entire time because I have to wear this fucking stupid Matthew Stafford jersey. Not
It's
only
so
now,
funny.
but for the Super Bowl. I had to buy it. I got free 2-day shipping, which is good. I'll never complain
For the
about 2 days.
kids.
I will never complain about 2-day shipping. This jersey is fucking stupid. It's fucking ugly. Except I actually, if you can see it, if you're watching us on YouTube, you can see the lettering. It
Uh-huh.
actually, I like it's sticky. It's sticky.
It's sticky.
I like that.
That's cheating. That's like how they catch balls better.
It literally is like how a receiver's gloves would feel, like the stickiness of
Oh.
a receiver's gloves. That's how they do the lettering. And
B3T Sports analyst Alec owes me a jersey as well, so I will be very excited when I get mine. Hopefully it's sticky just like yours is.
you can just have this jersey. You can have it when I'm done
No,
with it
no,
after the
I don't
Super
want
Bowl.
that.
I don't want it.
You have to keep that jersey forever.
That wasn't the bet. The bet was I had to buy the Stafford jersey and then wear it for the Super Bowl. Nothing about keeping it. I don't want this thing in my closet. I don't want to look at it any longer than I have to.
Listen, we're gonna talk about
Oh,
Tom
this is still the
Brady's
intro.
Yeah, we're going to talk about Tom Brady's top 10 NFL games of his entire career. We're going to talk more NFL news. We're going to talk about the NFC and AFC championship games. And then we're going to talk, what are we going to do? There's no pick'em this week.
Well, Andrew, I'm glad you
Roll
brought
it!
that up.
3, 2, 1, go.
I am Ian Peacock.
And I am Andy Heidemann, and I hate sports betting.
No matter what you say, I'm betting 100 on it tonight.
Listen, dude. Listen, Andrew, there's so much to unpack this week. First, okay, we got the jersey. I lost my bet with you that if the Rams fucking make the Super Bowl, I have to buy and wear a Matthew Stafford jersey for the Super Bowl.
Don't forget about the part where if they win the Super Bowl, you have to kill yourself.
I have to kill myself. I think I have to suck dick and force myself to like sucking dick at some point. I think that was if they just made it to the NFC Championship. So I already have to do that. I have to find some dick to suck, but then also I have to force my mind to actually enjoy it.
I'm really excited to talk about those games because
I thought you were about to say I'm really excited to talk about you sucking dick and how you're gonna make yourself
always,
and how you're gonna make yourself like it.
Well, you know. First things first, biggest news, Tom Brady retired, and he retired twice, basically, because Schefter couldn't keep it in his pants.
He was vacationing with his kids.
Brady or Schefter?
Brady. He was vacationing with his family and didn't want it. He wanted to release the information on his own time. And Shefty,
I don't blame him.
Shefty said, fuck that. I care more. It's a contract year for my ESPN contract. I am more important. So, and I understand that. And
no, listen, doesn't mean that
he beat
I don't
Brady.
understand Brady, though.
He beat Brady to the news. He beat him to the news.
You know what, though? It was kind of funny because everyone was saying, he hasn't said it yet. It's not official. People are saying that he still could play. And it was so funny that every single person was in total agreement that if anyone was going to spite them by not retiring, it would be Tom Brady. He'd
that would be amazing.
Fuck it. One more year.
That would have been hilarious.
He'd tweet, fuck you, Adam Schefter. I'm not leaving. But because I think legitimately, I'm curious to hear your point on this. What are the odds that June hits and Tom Brady has a meltdown? He's like, I need to play football, and he wants to unretire. Like, what percentage would you actually give that?
I don't know about a meltdown this year. However, I think that there is a more than a 50% chance, so a more likely scenario that he comes back and plays again. I don't think this is his final retirement. I truly don't.
That would be super crazy because he's already so old that, I mean, not like old, but he's already old enough to the point where you're like, oh, he should definitely retire. He's in that age range. And to take a year off just to like rehab, I guess that could totally be a thing. Gronk did it.
I
And
think
Gronk
that
looks pretty dang good.
I think that right now he actually wants to retire. He wants to focus on his family, kissing his kids, kissing Giselle, and of course his business ventures, which when if you read it, if you read his goodbye letter on Instagram or social media,
Bye.
he said he talked about autograph.io, which is a
Yep.
NFT sports platform. So,
Yes.
I mean, you have the greatest quarterback to ever play talking about NFTs in his farewell goodbye. To focus on NFTs in his farewell goodbye, that's hilarious and
two more questions with this
just
because I mean
legitimizes NFTs.
I agree, and I think like autographs are actually autographs and sports memorabilia are a great. I mean, it's you could even literally do football cards and baseball cards and shit as NFTs, and it would be
Well, Top Shot has it
it's the
right.
perfect.
Top Shot, how
Well,
they do the
Top Shot
moments.
has the right idea. Top Shot has a shit platform.
I actually I don't. Well, I do own a Top Shot moment. You own my Top Shot moment, but
I
their
do.
shitty platform won't let you send me.
Ownership is 9/10 of the law. That's all I'm saying. Possession's 9/10 of the law.
But yes, they're a shitty platform that won't let you send me my own moment to my account.
So while we're talking about his retirement and his farewell message, there are two other points. The first one is the picture that he used was him in a Bucks uniform. It was not him in a Patriots
Interesting.
uniform. Does that mean
Interesting,
anything to you? Do
Andrew.
you think that was spiteful, or do you
Oh.
think it was just whatever?
Andrew. I wonder what that. Listen, I've heard it all from Patriots fans to Buccaneers fans. Who does Tom Brady love the most? Is it, the Patriots? Is it New England where he spent most of his career? Or is it warm, sunny Tampa Bay where he spent 2 years, but he also got a Super Bowl with the Bucks? Here's what I think is going to happen. Okay. And I've heard this theory from all corners of the internet. I think that when he finally returns, because I think that there's a more than 50% chance that he's coming back to play football. He's going to be a Patriot, baby. I think
You
that
really? That's so weird.
I don't think that's weird. And at the very least, I think let's just say he doesn't come back to play again. I think at the very least, he's going to sign like one of those 1-day contracts so
That
he
was
can
my next
retire
question.
as a Patriot. I think he'll do that.
I was wondering about that too. Does that? I think he would too, and I'm wondering if that's disrespectful. Not disrespectful, but I wonder if that's going to be frowned upon if he doesn't do that. Just, I feel like that's the thing that he should do. That's the right thing. But at the same time, if I'm Brady and I said to the Patriots at the end, I can still do this. They're like, fuck off. He's like, okay, well, I'm going to go somewhere else. And then he doesn't want to come home.
See,
I
that's
mean,
the
I
thing,
guess
though.
I wouldn't blame him.
That's the thing is that I don't think he left on bad terms with the Patriots. I think it was mostly his decision. I don't think it was the organization's decision. I think it was mostly on Tom thinking that he had given all that he could for the Patriots and for that organization. And I think that Tampa Bay and Florida, as a tax-free income state, was a very alluring opportunity, and he probably knew that he was going to retire soon anyway, so he picked the Bucks. Why not?
Yeah. Well, and I think that I don't know if I'm 50%, but I don't know if I'm that high. I think I'm with you that I could definitely see this not being his final game. Like he might think it is, like you said, but it might not be. Now, I don't think he'd go to the Patriots, and there's a good shot he doesn't go to the Bucks unless he like has to because of contractual stuff. I don't know where he would go, but I,
Did you see, this is unrelated, but did you see that he said that you're next to Lamar Jackson?
yeah, I read that article actually. And
I'm just I mean,
that's interesting.
of all the quarterbacks for Tom Brady to say you're next to, MVP winner Lamar Jackson. Just something to think about, Andrew. Something to think about. Something I'll be thinking about. I'll tell you that. I'll be thinking about it.
Dreaming about it. I would say that I was talking with some people the other day, and I don't know. Do you feel like there are more great QBs in the league now than there were 10, 15 years ago?
There are so many good quarterbacks in the league right now. I mean, I'm not even thinking about, Burrow or fucking Stafford. Both of them are great quarterbacks. I even have to tip my cap to Stafford. He made it to the Super Bowl. You know, all he has to do, by the way, is win this Super Bowl, and it pretty much
He's Hall of Fame.
He's Hall of Fame. It puts the nail in the coffin for his resume. Like, that's all you need.
It puts the nail in the coffin in the Lions organization is what it does. Pack it in, you're fucking done.
But, I mean, you got Mahomes. You got, obviously, Lamar Jackson. Talk about
Herbert,
the AFC
Dak.
North. The AFC North is fucking stacked with Burrow, Lamar. Actually, Baker, I don't know about. Never mind. Just half stacked. It's a half stack.
I kind of feel bad for Baker only because he is definitely not as bad as some people say he is. He is not a top 10 QB.
No, he's not.
He's not a top 12 QB.
Nope.
But there is something to be said about a quarterback who does everything that he is asked all the time and to still be a leader on your team because he's definitely that.
And someone who
Baker's got swag.
And someone who's so good at commercials.
That's also true. The appeal is there.
He's so good at commercials. He is. You know who's also really good at commercials? Sneaky good at commercials? Julian Edelman. Julian Edelman is fucking hilarious. He does that one Twisted Tea or some sort of alcohol.
The
and
alcohol one.
Yeah, and he's at like a grocery or he's at a gas station and he's got his own like little table and he's like an announcer and he's like it's some lady's like Julian, you're scaring the customers, and he's just like, back to you, Jerry.
There's an interview with him on Pardon My Take, and there's a video,
hilarious.
And he's sitting on the ground in his apartment, and he has a very small TV on the ground.
There's no furnishings.
Yeah, I know. And they're like, "What the fuck are you doing?" He's like, "I don't know." He's like, "I'm not here all that much." And they're like, "It's your home." He's like, "Well, I have a couple homes."
Yeah.
Oh my god. So Tom Brady retired, and to honor that.
But you're next to Lamar. I mean, are we gonna have a whole segment? I feel like we should have a whole segment about that.
I mean, maybe. They gotta the.
I mean, who do you think is next? Who do you think is next?
Like to be literally in the league, to be to be the next label greatest of all time.
I mean, according to Tom, it's Lamar Jackson. I'm just saying.
I'm still loading up on Mahomes. You're
buying Mahomes stock. You're buying Mahomes stock. You're buying Burrow stock. Are you buying? Okay, fine. How about this? I'm going to ask you a series of questions, and you tell me which stock you're buying over the other. Okay.
Okay.
Mahomes, Herbert.
Mahomes.
Burrow, Herbert.
Wait, that's really tough. Herbert. I'm gonna say Herbert still.
That's funny because I thought you were gonna go Burrow with the recency bias of now that he's in the Super Bowl.
I think Burrow is really good. I mean, I think it's close, but dude, I don't know. I've seen Herbert have a couple of games where I'm like, this dude fucking has it, and I've seen that with Burrow too. But I like the physical tools that Herbert has over Burrow. I mean, he's taller, he's bigger, he's
taller. He's taller.
No,
he's taller.
Yeah, that's an Elway thing.
That is an Elway thing, dude. That's a fucking Elway. Oh shit!
I need a tall white dude, please.
He's 6'8". Let's fucking go. Okay, so you picked Herbert over Burrow. Okay,
yeah, Burrow. Close.
Burrow or Lamar Jackson?
Are we talking one season, like just next season? Or are we talking about for like longevity of their career?
Longevity is hard because of Lamar and his running game. I'm going to say the next 2 years.
Give me Lamar.
Okay.
Lamar. I mean, so this again, I'm not saying that Burrow's bad. We already talked. The league is in great hands with their current QB stock, but I mean, Burrow's played a season and a half of football. He got hurt the last year and he was a rookie, and this year he's played really well, but he didn't outplay some of these other guys who are in the league. They won games, which is great, but I'm still gonna
Burrow
these other guys
or Deshaun Watson.
That's interesting. At the moment, give me Burrow, obviously, because we don't know what the fuck Deshaun's doing.
What is Deshaun doing, dude? What is he doing?
So there's been no talk of that, which makes me think that he's gonna play next year. Because
he's Michael Jordan. You know that, right? He's got the athleticism of Michael Jordan.
That's what Debo said.
Okay, so you have Burrow over Deshaun Watson. Burrow or Deshaun Watson or Dak?
Dak. Now, I want to say if nothing had happened with Deshaun and he were just still in the league playing, I would take him over Burrow and Dak. But the problem with Deshaun is he could come back with, they could be like, he's totally clear, come back and play, totally fine, but he hasn't played football in like a year. So even I'm still going to be like,
Well, you know who else didn't play football in a year? Le'Veon Bell. He sat out for a year, and then now look at him now.
yeah, he just got cut by the Bucks like 6 weeks ago.
Yeah, newsflash. Sitting out an entire season probably doesn't do
Well,
you that
and, like,
well.
Well, you can. Okay, it matters about your position. Like running backs cannot do it. Running backs definitely should not do it, unless like you're like, I'm not going to play games, but I'm going to show up to practice every day, which is dumb because you have high injury risk. But whatever. And then like wide receivers can definitely do it. Defensive players can do it. You can't do it if you're a running back. That's just not.
I hate
how
this
that
fucking
works.
jersey, man. I hate this fucking jersey. Now, the one thing I will say, the one thing I forgot to mention is that it's a. So let me go back to Sunday night. Actually, let's recap the. Are we going to recap the games? I'm all over the place
Yeah,
today,
but
dude.
we're gonna
What are we
recap the
doing?
games. But
What are we doing?
Do.
I'm
You,
gonna
you
look.
keep pulling us in different
You s-
directions. We're talking about Tom Brady, and we're gonna talk about his 10 best games. That's what we're gonna do.
10? I thought it was 3. I thought you told me.
Hey, listen,
3.
I could have given you 10, and you just said fuck yourself. I give you
Honestly.
3 because I thought that's what you could handle.
Honestly, I can't even handle 3. And honestly,
I know you can't.
And hold on, Andrew. I thought we were gonna do. Hold on. I thought we were gonna do top 3 Tom Brady moments, not games.
Oh no.
What the fuck?
We could-
Why games?
Because games are better. They're iconic. They're iconic moments of his career that are like solidified by his performance in a game. Like I get that there are moments, but like I don't know. I like the idea of a whole game. I mean, the dude played 20 fucking seasons.
Yeah, and my mind doesn't just. I can't even remember all the fucking Ravens games that I watched this past season, and I watched every single one. You expect me to go back in the fucking archives?
To try, I expect you to try a little bit.
Oh,
No, I'm sorry.
No
That's
way.
my fault.
Hold on. I have moments. Let's do moments. Moments are way more fun. What? Okay, fine. Give me your top game. Give me your top Tom Brady game, and I'll give you my top Tom Brady game.
The number one.
The number one.
I mean,
game.
I think it's easy.
28-3.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's the one.
Okay.
And I knew that would be one. What would you say if off the top of your head? Because
No
obviously
tuck rule. No tuck rule.
Tuck rule made honorable mention.
Oh, it didn't. It didn't even make your list, Andrew.
Didn't even make the list. I have 15 games and 5 of them
I love
made
how I'm
honorable
just
mention.
shitting all over. You were like, you came all prepared, and you're like, I've got my 10 list of Tom Brady games, and we're gonna
I
go
wrote
from
a whole article on this.
we're gonna go from 10 to 1, and it's gonna be a great dramatic segment. And then I'm just like, give me your one. Just give me your one.
Why do you hate
fucker.
Tom Brady? Why do you hate
Look,
the greatest to ever play?
I,
No, you can say it. If you want to say you hate Tom Brady, that's like...
Okay, I actually was thinking about this before we recorded because I did give myself like 5 minutes to think about this before we
Thanks.
got online. I am conflicted because most of his career, I hated him because he was on the Patriots,
Right.
and the Ravens usually played the Patriots late in the season or in the playoffs, and it had a lot of like weight around it, and sometimes we'd win, but the majority of the times they would win, and I just fucking hated the Patriots and Tom Brady because he was our fucking one of our arch nemesis and knocked us out of the playoffs a few times. So no, I don't like fondly thinking about Tom Brady beating the Ravens and knocking us out of the playoffs
But
and
you're
fucking
also a football fan, and you know for a fact that it is a sad day that he
It's very
announces
sad.
retirement.
Yes, no, it's
'Cause
very
he's
sad.
done, and like
Look, once he went on to the Bucks, I had no conflict, no problem,
no conflict.
because my beef is with the Patriots.
Sure.
My beef isn't really with Tom.
So you're in agreement, 100%. 28-3. That's his number one game.
Yes.
Super Bowl 50.
Tuck has to make the list. I don't understand how the Tuck rule doesn't make the list.
Because here's the deal. Because you don't have anything prepped. Here's what I'll do.
I have moments. Hold on, I have moments.
Okay,
I have moments.
Let's.
I have helmet catch. I have helmet catch. That was a moment that I had. I know it's more Julian Edelman. Look, I know it's more Julian
helmet
Edelman.
catch. Oh, or are you talking about the what do you mean helmet catch? You're not talking about the Giants game.
No, I'm talking about Julian Edelman's helmet catch.
Yeah, his his
Oh,
helmet
yeah.
catch or his
I
fingertip
guess,
catch is what you mean.
I guess it's not. Yeah, the helmet catch is the Giants. Okay, how about this? I'm about to spin zone this. Really, are you
How
ready for this?
about this? All right, I'm ready.
Helmet catch makes the list because technically it's still a Tom Brady moment because
I suppose.
it was the Giants playing Tom Brady in the Super Bowl. It was Eli Manning that threw the pass, but who caught it? Who caught the helmet pass? We should note this because it's one of
or
no way. Plexico Burris?
Yeah. Hold on. Helmet catch. Who was it? Helmet catch player. This should be
Because
not hard to find.
obviously the helmet catch is one of the most iconic recent Super Bowl memories. I mean,
David Tyree.
David Tyree. Okay, so David Tyree catches. Okay, but it's against Tom Brady, so that still counts. However, I'm thinking
you're gonna have that be a top moment.
No, I'm thinking of Julian Edelman's insane fingertip catch. In the 28-3 game.
That is a phenomenal catch. Whole thing is awesome, and it's funny because the drive before that, Julio Jones has one of a top 10 Super Bowl catch in my opinion in that game, but
doesn't matter.
One talks about it or remembers it because it doesn't fucking matter.
Doesn't fucking matter because they lost. Here's another one.
Yeah.
Well, here's another one.
Give me your list.
The okay, so the interception by the Seahawks in the Super Bowl. A lot of these are Super Bowl moments, by the way.
Yeah, no, listen. My top 10 list is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Well, the
6,
dude played in fucking 10, 11 Super Bowls, so
it is 6 Super Bowls, 1 divisional round playoff game, and 3 regular season games.
But yeah, Malcolm Butler intercepting Tom Brady, which is a Tom Brady moment because Tom Brady threw the ball. Wait, no. Jesus Christ.
What are you doing?
Jesus
Malcolm
Christ.
Butler
Dude,
intercepted Russell Wilson.
It's been such a crazy day. Okay, so Malcolm Butler. Dude, I probably sound like do I always sound this crazy? Do I always?
Yeah, okay. Literally all the time.
Okay.
Like an insane person.
Just checking. Malcolm Butler intercepts Russell Wilson. Obviously, the Patriots win that Super Bowl. That's a Tom Brady moment because Tom Brady was watching.
He was on the team.
Oh my god!
Do you think his Super Bowl ring just says "I was there"?
Oh, that's more of a Pete Carroll moment. That's a Pete Carroll moment for
honestly,
sure. Dude.
That is a Pete Carroll mishap if I've ever seen one.
Let me think. I had some more. I have one. I have a good one. And this actually isn't a Super Bowl moment. It's when he's trying to high five his players on the sideline. You know that GIF of him being all silly on the sideline, be like, "Hey, we did it," and he's all fucking happy and smiling. He's trying to high five his players, and he looks like a fucking goober. That's one. That's got to be on the list. Was that on your list?
I don't have moments. I'm just listening to your moments.
You're really just listening
because we make the best team. It seems like
you're really just listening to my ramblings. This is the ramblings of a crazy man.
Listen,
this is the ramblings.
I'm gonna go through my list of his best games, and you're gonna tell me that I'm insane, or you're gonna tell me that you agree with it. You don't have enough information. You don't have enough knowledge to be or to be like.
I'm trying to think. What else? I think that's it. I think those are all the moments. Those are
every single moment that he's ever gotten.
I think that's it, man. I think that's it. Dude, Gronk put up a really sweet. If you haven't seen it, go to his Instagram.
You're my best friend TikTok.
So good. It's so good, dude. And he's just there's one throw where he throws to Gronk and he makes this insane one catch play in the end zone. And Tom goes over to him. He's like, "How the fuck did you just catch that? How the fuck did you catch that?" And it's that's such a cool moment. There you go. That's another moment.
Well, so as I was doing research for my top 10 list, and I came down to the 15 games, I went on YouTube and I found all the highlight videos for each game, every 20-minute highlight video, and I watched them all so I could make notes and shit.
You sounds like you did a lot of research.
I did. Well, because I'm writing something also. So it's if we don't talk about it extensively, I'm still writing a thing for it. So,
go to b3tsports.com to read it.
B3tsports.
You're welcome. You're welcome for the plug, Andrew.
But dude, Gronk is insane. Just every time you watch them play together, there is no hesitation from Tom Brady to be like, I will throw this over the middle to Gronk almost any time that I want. And he's going to catch it and he's going to fucking get at least 15 yards. And hit the prime of Gronk's career. He could not be covered by a safety. He could not be covered by a corner. And if they ever put a linebacker on him, he would chip them and just go outside and get 5-6 yards apiece every single time.
Yeah,
Like,
every single
there
time.
was a solid 3 years.
He's so
where he was
big, dude.
He's
so big.
unguardable.
He's so big.
It's a shame he fell apart.
Well, that's
Okay.
what happens when you throw to him as much as Tom does up the middle.
Well, that as well. That's called.
Are you saying that Tom ruined Gronk? Are you saying that
Well, so
Tom is the reason why Gronk fell apart?
do you know what they call a pass that like leads your receiver out to die, like in a spot where he can make the catch, but he's gonna get his head knocked off by a defender?
Suicide,
It's called a
kamikaze.
hospital. It's called a hospital pass.
AB got one.
Well, Vontez Perfect is kind of just that guy.
Dude, we don't have to go down the rabbit hole of AB, but like
We can't.
that's
But
a Tom Brady moment, by the way, of just bringing AB to the Bucks and then having him live with him. That's a Tom Brady moment.
that's
That should make the list.
Moment.
That
Kissing
should
his
make
kid
the
on the
list.
mouth, Tom Brady moment.
The bloody lip from his last game, where he like goes to the refs and's like, "Look at my bloody lip." That's a Tom Brady moment.
Oh, Tom Brady going like this.
Oh,
When
yes.
he thinks he's got
His fourth down. The
all
fourth
these
down.
are when he was on the Bucks.
Well,
my
that's where
God.
I think that's where he had the most fun.
I would guarantee that's where he had the most fucking fun. Okay, shut up. I'm gonna go through these games now.
Okay, I'll shut up and I'll let you do your
All right.
hard-earned research.
Number 10 is week 5, 2014. It's a regular season game. This is the famous "We're on to Cincinnati" week from Bill Belichick, because the week before they played the Chiefs and Tom Brady played one of the worst games of his career. Multiple picks. Like, they actually pulled him. And this was the first time Jimmy Garoppolo got to play in an NFL game because Brady was playing so bad.
What
And
year
they're
was
like-
this?
This is 2014.
Holy fuck. Jimmy G has been in the league
I
7
know.
years.
Yeah.
That's insane.
And the funny thing about this game is everyone's like, because Brady got in the league in 2000, right? That's when he was drafted. So like 14 seasons have gone by, and now people are like, he's getting kind of old. Like maybe
he's reached his,
right. And they're like,
his downhill.
in the press conference, they're like, hey, is there going to be a change of quarterback? And Bill Belichick literally laughs in the press conference. He laughs and then doesn't say anything, which is super funny because you don't see that from Bill Belichick. But he's like, that is such a ridiculous question. And then again, that's where you get the famous "We're on to Cincinnati." And then Brady goes off. He has a pretty damn good game. I mean, they score 43 points, 65% completion, almost 300 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, 110 rating. I had a hard time because of all the Super Bowls pulling regular season games, but I also had to like look at context, because in a game where everyone's like, you're washed and you're done, especially so early, like now that we're looking at it so early in his career, I think that's a great game because it just shows.
That was
what
number
Tom
10
Brady
for you?
is.
That was number 10?
That was number 10.
That's a good pick. I still can't believe
num-
Jimmy G's been in the league that long.
I blew my mind when I was watching stuff earlier. Number 9, 2020, week 2, Bucks played the Chargers. And Brady and the Bucks were down like 21 or 24-7 at halftime. They were down a ton, and Brady just does exactly what Brady does. He threw 5 touchdowns that game. When I was watching regular season games, I did not see many games that he had the stats that he had in this game. He was dueling with Herbert. Herbert's young. Herbert's a new guy. And this was kind of cool because all of his other really big games were like in super huge moments. Not that regular season games aren't important, because obviously you need to win them to get to postseason. But like you mentioned, Brady has fun when he's on the Bucks. And this game looked like he had a fuck ton of fun, and he looked like he was still in his prime. This is the first year that he was with the Bucks. And again, anytime a guy throws 5 touchdowns, I'm like, I have to look at this. And that ended up making its way onto number 9.
Very good. Very good. That's a great number 9, Andrew.
But number 8.
But like, I'm never going to remember like
no,
these games.
That's the thing.
I'm never going to remember these games. You have to go look them up. That's why I like moments better. Not to shit on your parade, but moments are like everything we're talking about. People remember. They're like, shit.
After
he did go like this.
Yeah. Everyone should know number 8 because it is crazy. And then everyone will know everything after this because it's Super Bowls and playoff games. But number 8, week 6, 2009, the Patriots played the Tennessee Titans. And it is one of the biggest blowouts in NFL history. The Patriots beat them 59-0.
That's
Tom Brady
insane.
Tom Brady threw 5 touchdowns in one quarter.
How many total touchdown passes did he have?
5.
All in the first quarter.
No, second quarter. There was they only scored once in the first quarter. And it was a run play. But it was snowing. It was hardcore
I
snowing.
swear to God, you just said he threw 5 touchdowns in the first
in
quarter.
one quarter. No, in
Oh,
one quarter.
in one quarter.
Yep.
Okay. Okay.
And it's insane because it's in the snow. You would think it's going to be a shitty fucking passing game. He threw 5 touchdowns all in one quarter, and the most insane thing to me about it was that he had 380 yards, 5 touchdowns. They pulled him in the middle of the third quarter, maybe not even in the middle of the third quarter, early in the third quarter, and Hoyer played the rest of the
That's a
game.
Lamar Jackson move, by the way. That's a Lamar Jackson
It's just
move.
obviously they weren't going to let him continue to play because he completed 85% of his passes. I'm totally wrong. He threw 6 touchdowns. He had 152.8 QBR. He threw one, I guess, maybe it was at the very beginning. He threw a fuck ton of touchdowns. When I was watching this game, I actually lost track once. I had to actually watch it twice. But the worst part about it is, again, I wish they would have let him play all game because Tom Brady doesn't get to do that.
He would have just racked up the point. I wonder
if he'd have been that young with the Bucks or something and been like, I just want to keep playing. I wonder if teams would have let him do it.
I wonder what's the most. I mean, you don't have to look this up, but I'm just thinking out loud. What the most touchdown passes in the game is, and
7, and I think there are 3 people.
Is it? Nick Foles? Does he have one of them?
I believe Nick Foles is one of them. I don't know who the other 2 are off the top of my head.
That's funny that I remember that. Yeah, Nick Foles. I do remember Nick Foles throwing like 7 once. What an anomaly! What an anomaly Nick Foles is.
Of the modern QBs, the players who have 7 touchdown passes are Peyton Manning against the Ravens, Nick Foles against the Raiders, Drew Brees against the Giants.
You really had to do the Ravens dirty like that, huh? You really had to. Yeah. You'd really had to say burst the Ravens.
You're not gonna like this.
I don't want to hear the next one if it's going to be about the Ravens and it's in the playoffs and it's when fucking Belichick did some stupid sneaky shit with like Edelman.
2014.
God damn it, dude!
The Ravens.
I fucking hate this game so much. I was a senior in college. I remember this game like it was fucking yesterday. We lose. I watched it with a Patriots buddy of mine, and we got in a big fight, like a fist fight.
It's
Davis. I love you.
It's this game is crazy because it is all like Tom Brady. Like encapsulated in a game. He goes down 14 points twice, overcomes it twice, and wins the game when they. I feel like his stats were great. The narrative was great. The whole situation was phenomenal. And Joe Flacco, up to that point, had been playing phenomenally in the postseason.
I mean, he's playoff Joe. He has all the records in the postseason.
And he just. The Ravens still played well. It was just the Patriots ended up coming out on top. But that is a classic game. Like that is a game that is like, I feel like that is a game that could definitely have a 30 for 30 in a couple, like in 10, 15 years, just because of how big it was. You don't think so?
Next, what's the next game?
All right. Next, number 5, Super Bowl versus the Seahawks. This is the Malcolm Butler game?
Then you're copying me. I already had this moment. Shut up. We already talked about it.
This one is... I don't like this Super Bowl a whole lot. I mean, I think Brady did what he does and he keeps his team in the game all the time. But, I mean, he didn't win this game. The Seahawks should have won it. Like, the Seahawks kind of choked. Pete Carroll choked. Good for Malcolm Butler. But Brady did have a good game. Like, I mean, I don't know. He threw 4 touchdowns. He did have 2 picks. One of them, One of them was a pretty not great pick. But again, when it was all said and done, that's a Super Bowl title, right?
There you go.
This number. listen. I'm trying to get through this as fast as I humanly can.
It doesn't really feel like it, Andrew. It doesn't feel like it at all. Just skip to number one. What's number one?
I already told you one. We already told you one. Listen, fine. Four is the Eagles. 500 passing yards. It's the only game on here that he lost.
But he lost. Oh, there you go. 500 passing yards, though. That's a lot.
Most in a Super Bowl. 505 passing yards. And I
ran
the math. Yeah, it sucks that they lost. That was a game though that the whole time you were watching that game, I just felt like the Patriots could not catch a break. I thought that there was no
Philly special, bro.
Yeah, and then Brady dropping the Philly special on his end.
Yeah,
that's
I still need to watch. I still need to watch Man in the Arena. I've watched the first episode and it was really good, but
it is really good.
I need to finish it. I know there's like 10.
I'm on episode 5 of that, and it's been phenomenal.
But hold on, you said you ran the math. What did you run the math on?
I ran the math on Brady's air yards in that game because everyone, there's yards after catch, and 505 yards is a fuck ton of yards, but air yards are also like super. It's always interesting to see like how far he actually threw it. Here, let me see if I can find the number here, the exact number, because I thought that there was no way that I thought there was gonna be a ton of yards after catch, but it actually wasn't that bad. Brady threw 377 of those 505 yards is how much air he had on the ball.
That's a lot of air, crazy. Bro. That's a lot of air.
And he was 40 years old at the time.
That's nuts. That was 4 years ago.
Number 4. We have the Rams. This is his very first Super Bowl, the one against the greatest show on turf. The reason this one is so great, obviously it's the kickoff, but he was young, he was a rookie, and they got the game tied 17-17. The ball is on their own 17 with 90 seconds left. John Madden's in the booth commenting like, you got to play for overtime. They have no timeouts. Brady plays like a perfect drive, gets them in field goal range, perfect clock management. They get the field goal. That's his very first Super Bowl. And it's
wait a minute, Andrew.
Yeah.
You're saying that he won the Super Bowl his rookie year?
No, it was in 2001. It was his second year. Sorry,
okay.
It was his first year.
Because I was going to say
he didn't play his first year.
The only reason why I call you out on that is because I watched the first episode of Man in the Arena, so I was like, "That that's not jiving."
That was his. But that was 2001.
2001. So he was a sophomore in the NFL. Wins it. This is the same year as the Tuck rule, the Tuck game, right?
Yep, same. Yep, which is an honorable mention game.
Honorable mention game. Yeah, that was a great season. And that was when Bledsoe was hurt still, and they were like, "Oh, like who's going to be the quarterback of the future?" And Belichick, to his credit, Belichick went with Brady.
Yeah, it's also during the game, the announcers look over and they see Bledsoe stretching because it's close, and they're like, "Well, Bledsoe might go in here. Like, we'll see." And Bledsoe is quoted as saying, "I had a dream that I played in this game and the Patriots won," and it's kind of sad, but also like it was Brady's time, dude.
He's the GOAT. What are you gonna do?
Yeah,
unlucky.
Number 3, this one hurts me. It's Super Bowl 38. It's against the Panthers. This game was back and forth the entire time.
Cam should have jumped on the ball. Cam should have dove on the ball.
But this is another situation. Super Bowl, biggest stage. Tom Brady. They go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. It comes down to a drive where Brady puts together a perfect drive. They go down there and they score. And there's like 2 minutes left. Everyone's like, that's it. That's the ball game. Panthers go down, score, get a 2-point conversion, tied game. Everyone's like, well, now we're going to run to overtime. Brady does the exact same thing he always does. Fourth quarter comeback, takes the tie. They go down, they kick the field goal. Vinatieri hits a 43-yarder. They win the Super Bowl.
Vinatieri, baby. Sorry, Cam. And then that's it for Cam. That was his MVP season.
Shut up. That is no. That is
That was when they went
go home.
15-1. They went 15-1. Sad.
I don't talk about
sad.
that season. Number 2, because we already know what one is. Number 2 is Super Bowl 55, his last one with the Bucs when he beat the Chiefs.
You have this as number 2.
I have this as number 2.
But this is when he was with the Bucs.
This is when he was with the Bucs. And the reason it's 2 is the significance. Like it's kind of the end of his Super Bowl run, his career. Like he won a Super Bowl. He didn't win it in his last season, but I mean, to win a Super Bowl the year before and then still make the playoffs, he could. If he said he could still play and he's like, I just don't want to, no one would question that. It's not like Big Ben. If Big Ben came out and was like, I could still play, but I want to retire, everyone would say, shut the fuck up. But if Brady said it, they would believe him, right? So he's
no
going
one's
out on
believing
top.
Big Ben if he's like, I got a couple more years in me. No, you fucking
exactly.
don't, bro. No,
And then
don't.
And then number 1 is the Falcons 28-3 because it's undeniably.
So you copied me on that one. You copied me on that one.
Yeah. And a couple.
Sad.
Tuck rule honorable mention. Tampa Bay versus New England in the fucking sideways rain. That's honorable mention. And then AFC 2018 AFC Championship. Brady beats the Chiefs.
Mahomes.
Beats Mahomes in the AFC Championship game. That was not a very statistically impressive game, but he did have a kick-ass, like almost a perfect drive in overtime to get them the win. So
Mahomes never got the ball.
I know that's like I don't. How do you feel about that? Because
it's. I almost said a bad word. It's very stupid. It's a very stupid that NFL overtime, both teams do not get the ball. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. Just make it like college, dude. Just make it like college.
I have to agree that it's dumb that they don't like both get the ball because I feel like.
Then what's the point?
But I do feel like people who say your defense should make a stop, like that is a valid point. I don't know, like.
Okay, how about this? How about this?
Better.
It's the very end of the game. Here's the thing: you've already played 4 quarters. You've already played 4 quarters. Defense is a much more taxing position than offense. It's such a cheap shot to just be like, yeah, well, your defense should just stop them. Bro, it's the 5th quarter of the game. They've already played a full football game, and you're expecting them to stop. Like, it's just stupid talk. Stupid talk.
Anyway, that's the list.
But by the way, if both teams get the ball, and then you did it somehow like college does it, where both teams get the ball and you score, and you have to try to like score when the other team scores, the defense still has to stop them. The defense still has to come up strong. But like, why wouldn't both offense get a shot? It makes no sense. Stupid. More than stupid, but I can't say it.
All right, we got that's Tom Brady shit. Now we got some random stuff that we could talk about really quick before we get into the games. Did you see the Washington football team?
Commanders, the commies.
Washington Commanders. Good for them. The uniforms, some people think they look really good. I thought that their black and yellow ones look like Steelers uniforms. I thought that was kind of dumb, but I don't know why. I don't know like how you go, we're making a change. We're changing our whole identity. And then like you have somebody working on this in PR and working on designs and stuff, and then they're like, it comes out and it looks like another team. But they had cool colors. I like the maroon and the yellow. I don't know why.
Sure, I'm not like the biggest fans of the maroon and yellow, but I mean, Commanders, dude, it's such a fucking normal,
it's fine,
safe name. I was hoping they would go with like the Hogs. There was like someone talking about like the Red Hogs or whatever. I thought that was a cool name.
I saw Penguins at one time. I thought that'd be kind of cool.
That just reminds me of Pittsburgh.
Me too. Anyway, I thought that was interesting. Brian Flores is suing the NFL.
Yes.
And he claims that he was off. First of all, Bill Belichick texting him on accident. Hilarious.
Maybe it wasn't on accident. I've gone down some conspiracy rabbit holes, Andrew. Some conspiracy rabbit holes. Belichick doesn't make mistakes like this. I think he's playing 3D chess, and he meant to accidentally send that text to Flores.
But Flores was also claiming that the Dolphins owner was offering him $100,000 a game to throw games.
That's good money, by the way. I would take that in a
I mean,
heartbeat.
that is good money, but here's the thing though. I don't blame him for not doing. I mean, like it's the NFL. Like say like players and coach. You and I have talked about this before when it comes to tanking. If you're actively trying to tank, you might have a hard time or a harder time getting certain jobs for better organizations who don't like to tank, who
Correct.
like to try to rebuild every year. So you like,
Also, the
I don't
players aren't
blame
going to tank. The players who are
no
playing on the field, who like, let's say
who
like
are paid incentive. Like
Tua, who's like a young quarterback coming into the league, he doesn't give a fuck about the owner or like the organization. He wants to prove himself as a quarterback because that's going to help, help his career later down the road. Thing
right.
with the coaches. Same thing with every player on that field. They're not going to take a loss voluntarily.
No, and especially like think about this. There's a mic'd up this season where Gronk is like, "Hey, I'm like 2 catches away from a $500,000 incentive," and Brady's like, "I'll hit you," and he hits him for 2 catches. And Gronk also had like a touchdown incentive. One of them was a touchdown, so he comes to the sideline. He's like, "I just made $1 million, like off that catch," and everyone's like, "Made $1 million?" He's like, "Yeah," and everyone's like, "Fuck yeah." Like players aren't gonna tank just because they want like a better draft pick. Like yeah,
Right.
that's but Hugh Jackson, old coach for the Browns during when he was 36-1, he also has claimed that the Browns ownership offered a similar kind of deal, tank games, win money. He must have made out like a fucking bandit, but I don't know. We'll see what fucking comes of this.
Where is he now?
I think he coaches college.
Good for him.
I
Take the
I
money
didn't
and run.
I don't know about his coaching or anything like that, but whenever I saw him on Hard Knocks or any interviews, I liked him as like it seemed like a person. He seemed like he had a fun personality and he seemed like he knew football, but I don't know. Other news: Harbaugh decided to take interviews with Miami and with Vikings, and then he returned to Michigan. He is not going to coach in the NFL.
Sad, but that's okay. There's only
We know
room
who the
for
better Harbaugh is.
exactly. Yeah. There's only room for one Harbaugh in the NFL, and his name is John. His name is John.
So this is the biggest chunk of news aside from Tom Brady retiring. Aaron Rodgers. Everyone's like, oh, what's he gonna do? What's he gonna do? Because he has the right to ask for a trade because of the way he structured his contract. Devontae Adams is a free agent, and no one was talking about this team. Everyone's like Broncos, Steelers, Bucks now maybe, honestly. But he bought land and is building a house in Nashville, Tennessee, currently. And that's what's in the news cycle.
Listen, that's just a smart, savvy play. That's a smart investment play. Nashville property, real estate property is just skyrocketing right now. So that's just a smart business move by your boy, Aaron. Do I think that he's going to replace Tannehill next year?
That would be weird, wouldn't it?
No.
Like, and
that's not happening.
I think he wants to play with Devontae Adams as well, and they can't sign Devontae Adams. Like they just wouldn't have the space. But I don't know where he's gonna go, but I thought that was interesting. Rumor that Steelers and the Bucks are both interested in Jimmy G.
Interesting. I hope he goes to the Steelers. I hope he goes to the Steelers then. Because that is not a threat. I do not see Jimmy G as a threat as a quarterback.
If you went to the Bucks, that's a nightmare. If you went to the Steelers, I don't see him as a threat either, but he's probably a decent bridge guy for them to maybe like, know what I mean?
He's a safe pick. He doesn't he does turn the ball over, but he's a good game manager, I guess.
Well, okay, and that brings us to let's talk about the games finally.
Boom, boom.
First game was
bang, bang.
The Chiefs Bengals.
You done the GAT challenge?
No, I have not. Joe Burrow. One of my favorite pictures of Joe Burrow is when he wins the national championship and he's sitting there in his full pads and he's got a cigar in his mouth and then he's got a hat that on his lap that says Big Dick Joe.
Okay, wait. What was the first game? The first game was Bengals?
It was Bengals Chiefs.
Bengals Chiefs. What a game! First off,
Chiefs choked it.
Chiefs. Okay, listen, Andrew.
Bengals.
I need to sit up for this. The Chiefs, Andrew. The Chiefs choked this so hard.
Pull your
Listen,
camera back. Get into full frame.
listen, Andrew, listen. Listen to me. You are on the 3 going into halftime, bro.
I can't believe they didn't kick a
You
field goal.
need to fucking score. I can't believe, honestly, I'm okay with them going for a touchdown, but if you're Patrick Mahomes, you don't throw it behind you to Tyreek Hill to then, because you're out of timeouts, you just need to throw the ball away if it's not there. Of the worst thing he could have done is throw it behind and have Tyreek Hill get tackled in bounds and run out the clock. That was the dumbest play ever. They deserve to lose. The game right there shifted. There's 2 moments in both games. I'll talk about in the second game, but that was the moment in this game where you can say that's what lost them the game. They could have come away with at least 3 points. Should have been a touchdown, but at least 3 points. The Bengals barely.
Bengals defense played very well second half.
Very well second half, probably fueled by that stop right there.
Yeah.
However, the Bengals barely had to come back and tie the game. If that 3 points, that 3 points is the make or break. The Bengals do not come back if you at least score 3 points before half on that last drive. That's where it all went south. Great on the Bengals. Congratulations to Cincinnati. I'll be rooting for them because fuck the Rams, fuck Matthew Stafford. I'll be wearing this jersey, but my heart will be with Cincinnati.
So Cincinnati wins it. Good for them. On to the Super Bowl.
We're on to Cincinnati.
We're on to Cincinnati. And the turnaround for that team is insane. Like, they were worst pick, got Joe Burrow.
Crazy.
Honestly, not a great
crazy
pick, got Jamar Chase.
Didn't invest in their O-line.
Yeah, they did. And now, honestly, they can because O-linemen fall all the fucking time in the NFL draft, and now they'll be able to do it. So,
sheesh.
I don't know what people would have said if they would have had a really shitty season. They would have just been like, oh, man, should have done what we told you to do. But
good for
worked
them.
out for them.
Yep.
San Francisco, LA Rams. This was a good game. This was like a fun game to watch. I was stressed the whole time I was watching it. I believe in my boys. I think that there's a really good chance the Rams win it. I really do.
Look, they barely beat the 49ers. They won by 3.
But the 49ers have beaten them. I think they're 6-0 against the Rams in the last 3 years.
Yeah. Listen. I talked about the moment in the first game against the Bengals and the Chiefs, what lost. The moment in this game was when Tart dropped that unbelievably easy interception that I know for a fact I could have caught with one hand. You probably could have caught it with 2. You probably would have needed to trap it in your chest because your hand-eye coordination kind of sucks.
These glasses I'll have you know, these glasses are Nike.
I literally would have one-handed that so easy, dude, and he dropped it. That's the game right there. And I know that people are thinking doesn't just come down to one play, bro. It doesn't just come down. Come on, bro.
There's a swing thing, dude. There's an emotional swing.
You catch that ball, the game is pretty much over. It's over. He would have caught it around the half field, midfield. You would have marched it, taken the time off, probably scored a field goal at least. Look, sorry, but it comes down to that play. Yeah. Tart didn't catch it. Sorry.
Well, and then and Jimmy G had a fine game. His last 2 drives, though, were fucking embarrassing.
Well, he had that last drive in particular. He had no time to throw the ball. And in his defense, that interception really wasn't his fault. He was getting spun around and he had to just throw the ball away. He just had to get rid of it. He had to make something. And to his credit, he actually did throw it to an offensive guy. The guy had jumped and it obviously ricocheted off his hands and into a Rams player.
For our bet pick'em, I so desperately needed them to pick that and run it back for the touchdown.
I would have cried.
And the minute he went down, I was like, thing in your head that's like they can score points, but like why would they score points? They're just gonna knee it. You know, like for that split second, I'm like they're so close. Like even like when the time's expiring, just kick a field goal. Just kick a field goal. That's all I want you to do. Like, but they're not gonna fucking do that because why would they? Rams win it 2017. We got a Rams Bengals Super Bowl. The Super Bowl is in LA. Rams are the away team.
Rams are the away team, but I mean, their fan base is a joke. Let's just be real. I'm wearing their jersey and I fucking hate them. I feel like that's most of Rams fans at this point. Bengals fans are going to swarm LA. Bengals fans are going to swarm LA. I highly anticipate Bengal 2-to-1 ratio. 2 Bengals for every 1 Rams fan.
Let me see here. I wanted to see.
Also, Andrew, let's talk about our pick'em because this is actually. We are tied, and there's 1 game left in the entire season, and it's the fucking Super Bowl. Andrew, all you had to do was pick 1 game. All you had to do was pick 1 game right, and you couldn't even do that right. You let me back in, and now I have to finish you. You did win this bet. You did win this bet. I did lose this. I had to buy and fucking wear Matthew Stafford, and I'm wearing it now. I'm a man of my word. I'm going to have to finish you right now. I'm going to have to finish you. And I know you're going to take the Rams, and you know I'm going to take the Bengals. So what's the spread? We got to look at it right now. What is it?
I am finding it right now.
Andrew, I don't have my phone. Where the fuck is my phone?
The spread is...
I think I left my phone in the car. Oh, my God.
That's fucking hilarious.
It's kind of far away, too. I parked it kind of far away.
So the spread is... They don't have an even spread out at the moment. They have Bengals at +3.5 is -105. And then the next they have is... They have Rams -5 at -105.
I'm looking this up. You're so worthless, Andrew.
This is on. Okay. What they're advertising is -4.5 Rams at -105, which isn't even, and you will cry if it's not even, if you don't get that extra -5.
It's 4.5. I'm literally looking at it right now.
What are the odds? 4.5 at minus what?
-110 each side.
On which site?
Caesars.
On Caesars? Yes. I'm on DraftKings. So there you go.
Okay, well, I don't have my phone, so I have to go online. That was the first one that came up. What is DraftKings again? What's DraftKings?
What's that? It's -4.5 at -105, not -110.
But for both sides?
-4.5 and then +4.5. +4.5 for the Bengals is -115.
Oh, that's not even.
I know it's not even. I just fucking.
Well, then what do we do? How about this? We'll wait.
We don't even have to pick yet.
Yeah, because we have a week.
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit! I don't want to show my family photos. I don't want to dox
Grapefruit.
Grapefruit, baby. Don't look at my family photos.
Every time I come around your city, bling bling. Every time I come around your city, bling bling. Every time I come around your city, bling.